Now, my next supplier over here is called QualK Limited. My next supplier is called QualK Limited. So over here under supplier name, I will simply say QualK Limited. QualK Limited. I'm going to copy this information. I paste it under company name, and that's okay. So I'll just click OK. So there was no much work to be done here because there was limited information given. You are only supposed to key in your supplier name only. Great. That is how you create your supplier details. Next thing that I want us to look at on how to key in is now, how do you key in your product details? Product details, this is now what do you do? This is the what do you do aspect. We have looked at whom you do business with. And therefore, the next information over here would be, what do you do? What do you do? These are your products or services that you offer. How do you key in your product details? You are in a supermarket. You are selling a variety of items. You are selling foodstuffs. You are selling electronics. You are selling clothing or garments, and all those other information regarding what you are selling. So how do you then key in that respective or that particular information of each and every product so that the next time a customer comes in, you don't need to go cramming the prices of all your products? No, you have that within your system. You only need to scan your system code, your product code or your product serial number, and everything comes in on place. Let's move on. Over here, I have lists. So I will come and click on lists. Click on lists. Over here, I have item list. Lists, then item lists. So click on item lists. Once you click on item list, that opens this particular window over here. What you do, just expand the window. Just maximize the window. Then what you're going to do here to add more items, just right click, then you say new. Right click, then you say new. Once you right click and say new, over here you have the option of the respective fields that you're supposed to fill in. Number 1 is the type of the item that you are keying in. Over here, if I click onto the drop down, I have services, non-stock part, other charge, subtotal, group, discount, or payment. Now, what kind of item am I keying on? Ladies and gentlemen, the main types of items that you're going to key in will include, number 1, services, number 2, stock. Those are the major item categories that you are going to have, either a service or a stock. Notice that we have here service and non-stock part. What does non-stock part means? Recall at the back of your mind that stock, these are items that you purchase for resale. For resale. Non-stock part, ladies and gentlemen, these are items that you purchase, but they are not for resale. These are items to facilitate your office operations. What are these? Printing papers. They are items, yes, but they are non-stock items. Office pens. They are items, but non-stock items. Talk about some things like plates. They are items, but not for resale. They are used to facilitate the day-to-day business within the office. So non-stock part, these are items for office use. Services, of course, these are intangible items. We gave out an example of consultancy. If you've got a consultancy company, you are offering audit advisory, you are offering taxation, you are offering bookkeeping, you are offering consultancy. Those fall under services. So while keying in those into your system, remember, as a service company, those will be your items, but they are not stock. There is nowhere that you are purchasing those items item, any point in time, when you are keying in search, make sure that you check on this space over here for service. Non-stock part, I've already explained about that. Of course, these other ones are self-explanatory. If it's a discount that you're keying in, you may have a specific line item of what? Of discount. Please, I want you to notice that the moment we are here, we cannot see stock part. We cannot see stock part. Because what we want to do is to key in our items. Let me just give you a new share, then I'm going to share the question that we are dealing with on dead-end merchants. These are the products. We have the product, the cost of the product, the sale, supplier, and the quantity. So what are these? These are our items. What do we need? We need to key in these items. And remember, these are stock items. They are items that are purchased for resale. So before you proceed to key in your stock items, ladies and gentlemen, you need to do the following adjustments. You need to do the following adjustments. For your stock part to be able to reflect here, it means that the stock part is not active. So we need to do a little bit of editing so that our stock part is active here. All right, let's move over here to edit. Move to edit first. Edit. Edit. Over here, I have preferences. Edit and then preferences. Edit and then preferences. Edit, preferences. Edit, preferences. By default, it is under general. So over here, you have got different categories of preferences. You have got accounting, banking, bills, calendar, all that up to VAT. Let's move over here to items and stock, because what we want to edit is falling under the category of items and stock. Anytime you want to do any settings, ladies and gentlemen, regarding any aspect within QuickBooks, you're going to move to edit, move over to preferences, then come over here and select the associated stock or the associated part of your QuickBooks software that you want to do the editing for. Right now, we want to do editing on items and stock. So click on items and stock. Click on items and stock. Once you click on items and stock, over here to the right pane, it says there are no personal preference for items and stock. Please click the company preference tab above for more options. Nice. You have no preferences for items and stock. So for more options, just come over here and click on company preferences. Over here, I have company preferences. So click on company preferences. Click over there on company preferences. Click on company preferences. Once you click on company preferences, over here, you've got a different category of options from where you can choose. It says stock and purchase orders are active. This is the option that we need to check, because over here, if you check on this, it means that stock and purchase orders are inactive. And therefore, this implies that even if we want to create a purchase order, we cannot be able to create a purchase order. Why? It is inactive within our system. The very first thing that we need to do is to activate our stock part and also activate the purchase orders functionality. So please check on this box here. There's a box here that says stock and purchase orders are inactive. Check on this box. It says you may not change this preference while adding or editing an item. It's all right. Just close, move back. The reason why it is telling or it is giving you that response, the reason it is giving you that response is because, remember, we have an active window where we had started keying in our products or where we had started keying in our items. So the very first thing that we are supposed to do is to first of all go back and close our what? Go back and close. We should go back and close the window that we were using to key in our products. That's what I'm gonna do. So what I will do over here, I will just go back. So I'm gonna close this window, and then this is the window that we are supposed to close. That is why we are getting that pop-up error. So please close this window. Close this window. So just come here. Don't close the entire QuickBooks. All right. Don't close your entire QuickBooks. Just close this small window here. Just close the small window and close this one again. So if you're here, there's no. Let's proceed. So back to edit, back to edit, back to edit, edit. I think let me first of all give you the cursor highlight so that you are able to move with me. So I'm gonna do this right? So I hope you can now move over with my cursor. I hope you can now clearly move over with my cursor. Now, I'm over here on edit. I'm here on edit, edit, and then preferences. Edit, and then preferences. Edit, preferences. Over here, I move to items and stock. Then I move over to company preferences. I'm going to make sure that I check on this box. Stock and purchase orders are active. So I'm going to check on this box. Once I check on it, then I say OK. But before I say OK, there are more settings under stock and purchase orders, or there are more settings under items and stock. Number one says one about duplicate purchase orders, one about duplicate purchase order numbers, one about duplicate purchase order numbers. Now, for each and every purchase order, you will be creating a unique purchase order number. So what about in the instance where you use a duplicate purchase order number? Do you want your system to warn you about that? You're going to check on this box. When calculating quantity available for my stock, deduct quantity reserved for pending bills or quantity on sales orders. What does this mean? Number one, quantity reserved for pending bills. And number two, quantity on sales orders. That means, ladies and gentlemen, let's say, for instance, you have got, let's say, for example, you are selling books. Let's give an example. You are selling books. You have got a total of 20 books in your store. You have a total of 20 books in your store. Out of the 20, Aldo has already placed an order that, well, I'm going to pick 5 books. You haven't delivered these goods to Aldo, but he has already made the order. He has made his payment. So when counting your goods on hand or goods available, that is the quantity available, that is what you have at hand. Should you count the quantity that have already been counted on the sales order, or you should exclude it on that? That is what this option over here means. One, if not enough stock to sell, when the quantity I want to sell exceeds quantity on hand, and when the quantity I want to sell exceeds quantity available. Well, I'm going to leave everything right now as it is, then I'm going to click OK. It gives you a warning. QuickBooks must close all its open windows to change this preference. No worries about that. Click OK. Right? So all windows have been closed. All windows have been closed. Now let's proceed and key in our item. So I'm going to move over here to lists, item list. I maximize this window. Once I do that, I'm going to right click. I say new. Now you can see we have stock part. So the items that you want to key in are stock part. So I'm going to choose on stock part. And over here, once you choose on stock part, it says use for goods you purchase, track as stock and resell. That is the main point. These are goods that you purchase, track as stock, and you do what? You resell. In short, they are goods that you purchase for what? For resell. Over here, I have my item name and number. Item name or number. The sub-item of manufacturer's part number, unit of measure, and all that. Description on purchase transaction, description on what? On sales transactions. Allow me to enter into a multi-window. So I'm going to move into multi-window. Where are my items? Here are my items. All right. Now, the first item over here is Bozoi vodka. This is the first item, Bozoi vodka. So under item name, I'm going to key in what? Bozoi vodka. Bozoi vodka. That's what I'm going to key in under item name, Bozoi vodka. Sub-item of. Ladies and gentlemen, when do you use sub-item of? Let me give you another example. You are selling different varieties of products in your shop. What are these, ladies and gentlemen? You are selling soap. You are selling soap. There are different brands of soaps. There are different brands of soaps. Pardon from list. All right. Move over to lists. Item list. Lists. Then item list. Right click. New. Right click. Then you say new. From this drop down, choose on stock part. Choose on what? Choose on stock part. Choose on stock part. Choose on stock part. Choose on stock part. Over here, you are required to key in the item name. You are required to key in the item name. You are required to key in what? The item name. You are required to key in the item name. And our first item over here is Bozoi vodka. Our first item over here is Bozoi vodka. So over here, my item name then would be Bozoi vodka. So under item name, I'm going to key in what? Bozoi vodka. So under item name here, I have Bozoi vodka. Under item name, I have here Bozoi vodka. I was explaining about the sub-item of category or the sub-item of feature. What is this sub-item of? And I was giving you an example that you have got quite a variety of items that you are selling within your store. Let me give an example of soap. Now look at this. You have got variety of soap. You have Menengai. You have, all right, Panga. Just a minute. All right. So you have Menengai soap. You have Panga. I know many of you have used that. We used to both using that, the Panga soap. Or Kibuyu, okay? We have Kibuyu. We have Lido, okay? We have Zenta. We have, give me the brands of soaps that you know. Give me the brands of soaps that. All right. Now we have all these brands. Aha. Imo Sunlight, Brenda. Brenda used. So sour. Now, look at this. You are keying in these specific products. You are selling all these brands of soaps. Now, let's say your item name is what? Is soap. Your item name is soap. So you're going to key in the first thing over here is soap. Once you key in soap, it's not going to be a sub-item of anything. That is just soap. Once you key in soap, ladies and gentlemen, from here, you are going to have different brands of soaps. So are you going to make move over specifying this is soap Menengai, this is soap Lido, this is soap Panga, this is soap wherever. What you need to do, once you key in soap here, then the moment you come here, next item that you will key in over here, you will say, for example, Menengai. Menengai, all right? That is the item name. So Menengai is the soap. And then you come and check on sub-item of. Check on this box, sub-item of. Once you click on this drop-down, it's not available right now. You just click on Add New. It's going to be a stock part again. And then we are going to have the item name is soap. Okay? The item name is what? Is soap. So that means that the next time you come in and key in your item here as Menengai, then you are going to choose it as a sub-item of soap. So it is a sub-brand of this soap. This, ladies and gentlemen, helps you when doing track of your income per product. You don't need to go tracking the income per product like Menengai, tracking the the profit per product maybe for a Lido. You know, you'll have a very, very much squeezed item list. So what you need to do is to ensure that you do what? You reduce the load as much as possible. So that is what you're supposed to do in that scenario. So where you have got multiple items, you have got a single item, but with several brands. Please key in the brand. Once you have keyed in the main brand, then the rest of the information will be what? A sub-item of. If it is sugar, you are selling Umia's sugar. You are selling Sony sugar. You are selling Star Sugar. You are selling maybe other brands of sugar. So what are you going to do? You are going to make sure that the first thing that you key in as a product is sugar. Once you come in and key in Mumia's sugar, is going to be a sub-item of sugar. So that next time when you come and track your income per product, you can easily track sugar. I believe that makes sense. For now, we're going to uncheck on sub-item of, then here it's not Menengai, it is Bozoi vodka. Bozoi vodka. Bozoi vodka. Then we don't have the sub-item of. We don't have the sub-item of. Let me collapse this. So over here, I have manufacturer's part number. So if you have got the manufacturer's part number, you are going to key in that. If you've got the manufacturer's part number, you are going to key in that. Unit of measure. Do you have any unit of measure for this specific product? Is this specific product measured probably in liters, in millimeters, in meters, or what in kilograms, in grams, or what is your unit of measure? If you have, you're going to enable that, then you key in the unit of measure. Description on purchase transaction. Description on purchase transactions. How do you want this particular product to always be when you are purchasing this particular product? This is like asking on this particular product feature. For instance, if this is Borzoi vodka, description on purchase transactions, you can say, for example, black. I don't know if there's a black. I don't take these ones. I don't know if there's a black Borzoi vodka. Manufacturer's part number, that is the specific person who supplies you with that particular product. For example, if it is maybe say, for example, it is for example, if it is soap, we have got different companies that make soap. So under manufacturer's part number, you are going to specify whether it is Menengai or it is Pwani Oil Products Limited. I know Pwani, they also make some soap. So you're going to specify that under manufacturer's part number. Basically, who is the producer of the specific good. So over here, description on purchase transactions is how you want your item to be upon purchase. So when you are writing a receipt to a customer, how should the description of this particular product be on that particular receipt? So you're going to give the description. And then we have description on sale transaction. I'm just going to repeat the same, Black Bozoi vodka. Over here, I have the cost. What is the cost of this particular product? What is the cost of this particular product? Ladies and gentlemen, the cost is the price at which you buy this item. At what price do you get this item from the supplier? At what price do you get this item from the supplier? That is the cost. Over here, we are given the cost, and the cost is 300. Our cost, we are given as 300. Our cost, we are given as 300. So you're going to key in 300. Sales price, we are given as 450. 450. Sales price is given as 450. So under sales price, I'm going to key in 450. Now, we have got the cost of goods account. Cost of goods account. What cost of goods account is this particular item going to affect? Which cost of goods account is the transaction on this particular item going to affect? Is it the main cost of goods account? Is it prepaid insurance? Is it stock? Is it accumulated depreciation? So remember, this is taken to your what? This is taken to your income statement. This is taken to your income statement. So make sure that over here, you choose wisely. If, for instance, it is taxes, you're going to mention on taxes. If it is traveling and entertainment that you are keying in, you're going to choose that as your cost of goods sold account. For now, I'm going to leave it by default where it is as cost of goods sold. Preferred supplier. Do you have a specific supplier who gives you this particular product? If you don't have, you leave it blank. If you have, you key in. Over here, we are given that the specific supplier for this Bozoi vodka is Bovi Int. Under preferred supplier, once you click on this drop down, this is the advantage of making a pre-entry of your supplier details. The moment you click on this drop down, you're going to get a list of all your suppliers that you have within your system. Our current supplier is Bovi-int. So I'm going to choose preferred supplier to be Bovi-int. So I will click on Bovi-int. Income account. Income account. Whenever you make sale of this particular item, Bozoi vodka, which account do you want affected? Is it sales? Is it the cost of goods sold account, the miscellaneous, staff expense, or which account do you want affected? Ladies and gentlemen, income account, it will be the sales account. Where is sales? It should be sales account. It should be sales account. Over here, I have sales. So anytime that I make income on this particular product, I want that to be reflected on my sales, so that when I go to my income statement, I can be able to quickly track the sales of this particular product. So I'm going to click on sales. If suppose within your company, you have other setup on how you affect your other accounts, your income accounts. If, for instance, the sale of this Bozoi vodka is supposed to go to another income account, say, for example, other incomes, you can have interest income. You can have maybe discount income, or whatever income account that you have, you are going to select on that income account. For now, I'm going to select on sales, so that anytime now when we sell this product, it is going to affect our sales account. Reorder point. Over here, I have the minimum reorder point and I have the maximum reorder point. The minimum reorder point and the maximum reorder point. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen to me carefully at this particular point. There is an upgrade that has been done to QuickBooks, and it is no longer as the old QuickBooks that we had. If you meet the old QuickBooks, it is going to give you a different language. Perhaps you will meet reorder quantity, and you will also meet reorder point. You meet reorder point and reorder quantity. I'm going to show you what you're supposed to key in. Let's start with this. Number one, reorder point minimum. At any point in time, you always want to keep your stock to a particular limit. You don't want your stock to go below a particular limit. Say, for instance, if you are selling sugar, you wouldn't want your sugar to go below 100 kgs. You wouldn't want your sugar to go below 200 kgs. If it is pens, you wouldn't want your pen stock to go below 2 packets. That is the minimum. Then we have maximum. If we talk about pens, that they shouldn't go below 2 packets. What quantity, or what is the maximum quantity that you should reorder in order to restock? That is what we mean by maximum. Maybe you always want to reorder a maximum of 10. That is what is going to be keyed in over here under maximum. In other languages, if you meet reorder quantity or reorder point, ladies and gentlemen, the reorder point will be the lowest stock level that you want your items to be in. And that is the reorder point minimum. Reorder quantity is going to be the reorder point maximum. How much do you want to reorder at any particular point in time? I hope that makes sense. On hand. What is the total quantity that you have on hand? This is given over here. It is 100. So I'm going to key in 100 as on hand. That is the stock take. Don't worry about the total value, as you have the sales price and you have the cost price. So QuickBooks will automatically calculate the total value of this particular product. So just click anywhere, then the total value will be automatically calculated. And you can see the total value over here is 30,000. Ladies and gentlemen, notice that QuickBooks is doing the computation of this based on the cost price and not the selling price. Why? These items have not been sold. And therefore, what it's doing is that it is using the cost price to value these items. So if you take 100, you multiply by 300, you get 30,000. Well, that's in order and everything is right as it is. I'm just going to click OK to add the item. So over here, I have Bozoi vodka as my item. Description, it is a black Bozoi vodka. The type, is it a stock part? Account that is affected is sales. I have a total of 100 within my store for now. I have a total of 100 within my store. On sale is 0. Price is 450. So this is the information related to this particular product. I'll move further to key in more products. So I'm going to right click, say new. Over here, I choose stock part. My item name, this time around, I want to key in the Smirnoff vodka. So I'm going to say Smirnoff vodka, Smirnoff vodka, Smirnoff vodka. Description on sales, I'm just going to repeat the same thing, Smirnoff vodka. I'm just going to repeat the same thing, Smirnoff vodka. Cost, the cost for Smirnoff vodka is $2.50. $2.50. The sales price is $3.50. Sales price is $3.50. Preferred supplier is Qual K Limited. Preferred supplier is Qual K Limited. Income account, this is supposed to affect sales. On hand is 200. On hand is 200. On hand is 200. So I click OK. Just ignore all these spellings, all right? If you get this suggestion box, ignore all. Just say ignore all. Ignore all. My next item is a stock part once again. It's called Caesar's Vodka. So I'm gonna key in my next item. Caesar's Vodka. Description on purchase transaction, I'm going to repeat the same. Description on purchase transaction, I'm going to repeat the same. Same to description of sales transactions. Cost is 300. Cost is 300. And then the sales price is 500. I say this is a good business. That's why people are starting much of it. I can see the business a good one. Perhaps one day I'll start one. Preferred supplier for Caesars is a Swiss company. So do I have Swiss company in my list? I don't have. So I'm going to say add new. I don't have Swiss company. So I'm going to say add new. So the supplier name is Swiss company. My supplier name is Swiss company. My supplier name is Swiss company. Swiss company. Swiss company. This is the advantage of creating your supplier information prior. Right? So this is my preferred supplier. Income account is sales. Income account is sales. Income account is sales. Total value. Sorry, not total value, but on hand. On hand for Caesar's Vodka is 150. On hand is 150. On hand is 150. I click OK. So over here, I have 3 products: Caesar's Vodka, Bozoi Vodka, and Smirnoff Vodka. Now, I want you to key in the other items. Key in the other items. So I'm going to give you some few minutes to complete keying in the other items. Is there any question with regards to keying in of your item details before you continue to key in the other ones? Is there any question with regards to that? Okay. So please key in all the other item details. Please, I want you to make all these entries because when we come to key in these invoices and receipts, we are going to need this particular information that we have here. So make sure that in your system, you key in all these items so that you avoid inconveniences here. So I'm going to give you, it's 7:09. So let me give you up to 7:15. So you stop at 7:15. So I'm going to pause the recording a little bit as you do the recordings. Then we proceed at 7:15. So we are saying that we have already done the setup. We've created our company profile. We have keyed in our suppliers. We have keyed in our customers. And we've, of course, keyed in our products. The next thing now that we are going to look at now is that we can now effectively start conducting our transactions. The very first transaction over here that we are going to look at is how to do a cash transaction. A cash transaction happens in the scenario where a customer purchases from you and they pay you instantly on cash. How to work with this? Ask yourself, who is related to a receipt? You issue a receipt to a customer and therefore come and click on customers. come and click on customers, then check where we have receipts. Check where we have receipts. Over here, you have the option enter sales receipts. So come and click on enter sales receipts. Click on enter sales receipts. We are going to look at these other transactions related to what? To customers. For now, come and say enter sales receipts. Enter sales receipts. Enter sales receipts. All right. That opens the window from where you are supposed to key in your sales receipts. But just before we do that, let me take you a little bit to this other side. We are given the following information. The company has 4 credit buyers: the Florida Casino, Choices Club, Hard Rock Restaurant, New Visions Nightclub. We are told on 3rd of January 2004, Dead sent an invoice number this to Choices. So that's an invoice. We are not going to look at that right now. Next, there was invoice 111 sent to Florida. Over here, I have invoice number this. I have invoice number 113. Down here, I have on 20th of January 2004, receipt number 001, Mr. Kamau, for 2 KWV vodka and 1 Pipers. So this is the first receipt that we are going to key in. So customer job is which customer purchased. To which customer are we writing this receipt to? This receipt is going over to who? Mr. Kamau. If you click on this drop down under customer job, you should be able to see a list of all your customers that you have. Over here, we don't have this particular customer, Mr. Kamau. So we're going to click on add new. Customer name is who? Mr. Kamau. Customer name is Mr. Kamau. So just key in the customer name and then copy that and paste it under company name. So just repeat the same. Customer name and company name. Once you are done, just click OK. Once you are done, just click OK. Once you are done, just click OK. Notice that the moment you key in your customer job here, then the sold to button automatically updates to pick in your customer name. Over here, you have got the tax date, and this is the date on which you are doing the transaction. I'm going to leave it by this date on which it is, that is on 15th of December, 2023. Don't mind about this date that is over here on the receipt. Let's use today's date. Over here, I have the sale number. The sale number, ladies and gentlemen, this is like the receipt number. The sale number over here is like what? It is like the receipt number. The sale number is like the receipt number. The sale number over here is like the receipt number. So for the sale number, we are told that the sale number is what? 001. Now, notice, ladies and gentlemen, that in QuickBooks, there is a place where you do settings that enables you to automatically update your receipt numbers. Therefore, right now, we are seeing that we have receipt number 1. It means that upon our next transaction, QuickBooks will automatically adjust this receipt number to receipt number 2. So the next receipt transaction that we are going to create, QuickBooks will automatically read it as receipt number 2. Suppose I change this to 0001, then that means that the next time I move over to my next transaction keying in my receipts, then QuickBooks is going to automatically read this as receipt number what? Receipt number 002. So for now, I'm going to maintain this at receipt 001. If the check number, this is the mode of payment that the customer is using. Well, it's a cash payment. You are creating a receipt on the spot. What kind of payment method is the customer using? Is it by check? Is it by credit note? Is it by cash? Or which method of payment is the customer using? For now, I'm not going to fill in the check number because we are using cash payment. So I'm just going to retain it as it is. Suppose the customer paid by check, then you're going to key in the check number here. Next over here, we are going to key in the respective items that this customer purchased. Musabi is lost. Musabi, where are you lost?
From customer.
From customer. Where is customer Musabi? Here. From customer job, click on the drop down. You should be able to see a list of all your customers. If your customer is not there, click here, add new. Just come here and say, right now we are creating a receipt for Mr. Kamau. Customer name, key in Mr. Kamau. Do the same for company name, Mr. Kamau, then just click OK. Don't mind about the other entries.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Over here, choose the payment method. What, I didn't see this, that's why I was even expanding my my window so that I can easily see this. Now, what is the payment method that this particular customer used? Say, for instance, they paid by cash. So make sure that you select on this option over here, cash. If they paid by cash, select on the option cash. If they paid by check, select on check. Then here you have the option to key in your check number. So I'm going to choose on the option cash. I'm going to choose on the option cash. Over here, I will key in the item that this particular customer purchased. And what item did Mr. Kamau purchase? I was told here, Mr. Kamau was issued a receipt. Mr. Kamau was issued a receipt 0001 for 2 kWv vodka. So it means that Mr. Kamau did what? Mr. Kamau purchased kWv vodka. Mr. Kamau purchased kWv vodka. So that is the product. Here, I have the space for quantity. There were 2. So under quantity, I'm going to key in 2. Notice that once you select the product, then your system automatically picks up everything. Here I have 250. Remember, 250 is the sales price of this particular product, kWv vodka. Notice the benefits of pre-keying in your item details. Under quantity, we will key in 2. We are not yet done because Mr. Kamau did not buy kWv vodka only. Mr. Kamau bought pipers again. So in the next line, come and click on the drop down. And then this time round, we are supposed to choose on pipers. This time round, we are supposed to choose on what? Pipers. But notice, pipers is not in my list. I expect you to have it because I gave you the time to key in your product details. I'm going to add this new particular product, pipers. So I'm going to say add new. It's a stock part. My item name is pipers. My item name is what? Pipers. My item name is pipers. Description on purchase transaction is just going to be pipers. Pipers, right? Cost. What's the cost of pipers? What? Yes, please.
I got lost, Malim.
Where did you get lost?
Malia, item description.
Yeah.
So ulisema kuna mahali ulisema item unaweka.
Just a minute. I get there, please. Just a minute. Let me finish keying in these product details, then I'm going to lead you. So pipers, what's the cost of pipers? Is 500. The cost of pipers is 500. 500. And then the sales price for the same. The sales price for pipers, 875. Quantity on hand is 100. So here I have 875. Then here I have 100, right? Like that, income account. I say, okay. The first product that we keyed in, was kWv vodka. Notice here, we are working with this receipt number 001 here.
Yes, yes.
We are told here that receipt number 001 to Mr. Kamau for 2 kWv vodka. Notice that when you select kWv vodka, the quantity is going to be 1 automatically.
Yes.
Or to some instance, it's not going to read the quantity. So we need to specify here the quantity that this person is buying. So number 1, we have item. Number 2, we have the description of the item, which is automatically picked up. Remember what you were keying in previously. When keying in the item, we had description on purchase transaction, number 1. And number 2, we have description on sales transaction. I hope you remember that.
Yes. Yes.
Now, this is now what we are doing is that we are creating a receipt. That means we are making a sales.
Yeah.
So the information that we keyed in our prior window, that is description on sales transaction, is what is appearing here.
Mhm.
If we are going to purchase this product from our supplier, that is, we are going to make a purchase order, then it is the description on purchase transaction that is going to appear here.
Yes.
That is under description. Next is quantity. We are told
Yes.
here we have 2 kWv vodka. Notice the amount that is here is what? 250.
250.
Let me expand this. So this amount of 250, that is what reads here. But this is not the amount that this person is supposed to pay because he took 2 kWv vodka, but each is selling at 250.
250.
Come here to quantity and click on this quantity space for kWv vodka and type 2.
2. Okay.
When you
So,
type 2, that adjusts the quantity to 2. Rate remains to be 250. And the amount now is 500.
yes.
Over here to our next product, pipers, we are supposed to key in quantity 1 because Mr. Kamau purchased 1 piper. So under quantity, say 1. Do we have any other information of what Mr. Kamau purchased from that receipt number? No.
No.
It is only kWv vodka and 1 piper. So it means that we are now done. So this receipt, this person is supposed to pay a total of, notice that QuickBooks automatically computes for you the totals that you're supposed to pay. It is 1,375 shillings. Before you save this item, over here onto the left, to the bottom left, you have a space for customer message. What are these? You get a receipt, but at the footer of the receipt, there's a message, it has been nice working with you. Or please come back again. We love you, customer. That is where you key in. This is where that information is generated. QuickBooks has got some predefined customer messages, and therefore, if you click on this drop down, you're going to meet some predefined messages. There are some here that says, all work is complete. It's been a pleasure working with you. Please remit to the above address. Thank you for your business. We appreciate your prompt payment. If these do not please you and you want to create your own, just come here and say, add new. For now, I'm going to work with what is available here. So I'm going to say, it's been a pleasure working with you. So that is my customer message. Over here, I have memo. Memo is also more of a customer message. So do you want to leave any other information to this particular customer on this receipt? If you have, you are going to key it in here. If not, leave the memo blank. For now, I'm going to leave it blank. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, before I proceed to come and say save, over here, there are more settings. I've got the formatting settings. I've got the send settings and the reports settings. Let's move back to main. And the main thing that I want to explain here under main, you are creating a receipt. Do you have any attachments that you want to make this to this receipt? If you have any, you're going to choose on this option, attach file. We have this option over here, attach file. This will enable you to quickly attach a scanned file or any scanned document to this particular transaction. Notice that you have got the option to print this receipt. So you can choose on the option, print. You can email this receipt to any other person. You can create a copy of this receipt and you can also memorize this receipt. Later on, I will show you when we are accessing reports where you access these memorized receipt. Why would you memorize a receipt? The reason you would memorize a receipt is that maybe you create this receipt on a regular basis. To save on time, you basically memorize this receipt so that it acts as a template. The next time you want to create such a receipt, you don't need to do this. Say, for example, this customer they always purchase the same quantity of the same products from you. instead of keeping on doing the same entries each and every time again and again, what you're going to do is basically memorize this report, and that will be automatically adjusted. Once I'm done here, I'm going to click on Save and Close or Save and New. Save and Close if you are done keying in your receipts. If you want to key in another receipt, you're going to choose on the option Save and New. Because we have got more receipts that we want to create, I'm going to choose on the option Save and New. I'm going to come here, click on Save and New. Ignore all. For the spellings, just ignore all. And now my receipt has been created. My receipt has been created. I move over to the next transaction. Over here, I move back to our assignment. And we are told here, on 22nd of January 2004, receipt number 002 to J.S. Shah for 1 cognac, 5 scissors, and 3 kWv brandy. Receipt 0002 to J.S. Shah for 1 cognac, 5 scissors, and 3 kWv brandy. Over here, my customer job. What will be my customer job, somebody? What will be my customer job, somebody? What will be my customer job? What will be my customer job, somebody? What will be my customer job?
JS Shah.
Thank you. J.S. Shah. So J.S. Shah is going to be my customer job. J.S. Shah is going to be my customer job. Thank you, Limo. So under customer job, for your case, you should have J.S. Shah. Oh, all right, you don't have. I know you didn't key in that particular customer. So come over here and choose on the option Add New. Under customer name, key in J.S. Shah. Under customer name, key in J.S. Shah. Copy the same to your company name. Copy the same to your company name. Copy the same to your company name. Copy the same J.S. Shah to your company name. And once you are done, just click OK. Copy the same J.S. Shah to your company name, and then you click OK. Then you click OK. Now, look at what is happening here under sale number. Remember, our first receipt was 001. QuickBooks automatically updates our next receipt that we are creating to what? 0002. Once again, over here, choose the payment method. I'm going to choose on cash again. Then down here, I'm going to select the items. Which items did J.S. Shah purchase? Which items did J.S. Shah purchase? Number 1, J.S. Shah purchased 1 cognac. So I'm going to key in over here, cognac. Cognac, I don't have. I'm going to add new. Stock part. Cognac. Let me bring back my multi-window again. Okay, let me finish up this. So here I have what? Cognac. I have cognac. Okay, I'm going to give the same description. Cost. What is the cost of cognac? The cost of cognac. Cognac is 700 and being sold at 35.70. There's such a business. You buy at 700 and you sell at 35.70. I'd want to invest in this as soon as possible. $700 and 35.70. Income account is sales. Preferred supplier. Who is our preferred supplier for cognac? Ramadan Distillers. The quantity is 500. Ramadan Distillers. Ramadan Distillers. Ramadan Distillers. Quantity on hand, 500. Right. So how many of cognac did he buy? 1. Next is scissors, 5 of them. Scissors, 5 of them. You also don't. All right, I have scissors here. Quantity is 5. Here I specify the quantity to be 1. Next item is KWV Brandy. KWV Brandy. KWV Brandy. I don't have that. Add new. Stock part. KWV Brandy. KWV Brandy. Cost for KWV Brandy. 500, 1,000, 100 on hand. 500,000 on hand is 100. Who is our preferred supplier for this? Our preferred supplier for KWV Brandy is Southern Traders. Our preferred supplier here is Southern Traders. Our preferred supplier is Southern Traders. Income account, this is going to sales. That is okay. Aha, quantity for KWV Brandy, 3. So quantity here, I say 3. Quantity here, I say 3. So the total that this person is supposed to pay is 9,070. The total that this person is supposed to pay is 9,070. So from here, I'm going to once again click on what? Save and close, because I don't have any other receipt. So let me just click on save and close. Ignore all. But before we move further, before we move further, let's look at some items here. Let's look at some items, or let's move back to our question. Let's move back to our question. Then I want us to look at something in our question. Look at this. We have this transaction on 27th of January, 2004. We have this transaction on 27th of January, 2004. And it was to James Peters, 2 pipers, 4 scissors, 1 Banoch bra, and 2 Chivas de res. On 27th of... Now, please read this. Read this information over here. Read this information over here. What does this information say? What does this information say? What does this information over here say? What does this particular information say? Let me just increase for you the font. I want you to see it very well. I want you to see this particular information very well. All right, nimeongeza sana, you are not blind. Now, this is what the information says. The company has 4 credit buyers. The company has 4 credit buyers. The Florida Casino, Choices Club, Hard Rock Restaurant, New Visions Nightclub. Others buy directly in cash. Let me highlight for you this again. Let me highlight for you this so that you see it very well. Let me highlight for you this. It says what? It says others buy directly in cash. Others buy directly in cash. Others buy directly in cash. All right. So this is what is supposed to guide you. The company has 4 credit buyers. The Florida Casino, Choices Club, Hard Rock Restaurant, New Visions Nightclub, and others buy directly in cash. That means then, ladies and gentlemen, that the only instance where we are going to create an invoice is 4. If we have a sale to Florida, we have a sale to Choices Club, we have a sale to Hard Rock Restaurant, and we have a sale to New Visions Nightclub. If it is not among any of the 4 customers, we are going to create a receipt because it is a cash sale. Remember, a credit sale, for a credit sale, we issue an invoice. For a cash sale, we issue a receipt. And therefore, in this instance here, we are going to issue a receipt. I hope that is okay. Madenge, thank you for you realize something and you knew that sometimes being independent is important. All right. Let me just clear that. Formatting, where is this icon now? Where is this icon? Where is this icon? All right, let me just leave it as it is. Now, it means that this transaction on the 27th is going to be a receipt, okay? The transaction on the 27th is going to be a receipt. So let's create a receipt for that. Let's create a receipt for that. Let's create a receipt for James Peters. So over here, I move back to customers. Then I say, enter sales receipts. Customers, then enter sales receipts. Customer is James Peters. I'm going to add new. The customer name over here is who? James Peters. The customer name is James Peters. James Peters. James Peters. Then I say, okay. This is receipt 003. All right. Payment method. I'm just going to choose on cash again. Items. Which items did James Peters buy? James Peters bought 2 pipers. 2 pipers. So the first one, 2 pipers. So pipers, quantity 2. The next item over here. The next item over here is what? The next item is scissors, 4 of them. Scissors is the next item. Scissors, 4 of them. The next item is Banoch Bry 1. Banoch Bry 1. What am I doing? Banoch 1. Do I have Banoch here? Do I have Banoch here? I don't have. So I'll add new stock part. Item name here is who? Banoch Bry. Banoch Bry. We'll maintain the same information from purchase and sell. Cost. What is the cost of Banoch? What is the cost of Banoch? The cost of Banoch is 350, 600, 150. 350, 600, 150. 350, 600, 150. 350, 600, 150. Income account, sales, preferred supplier, the preferred supplier for Banoch, preferred supplier for Banoch, preferred supplier for Banoch is Alban Wines. Preferred supplier for Banoch is Alban Wines. Preferred supplier, Alban Wines. Preferred supplier, Alban Wines. Alban Wines. Alban Wines. Alban Wines is the preferred supplier. Alban Wines. Copy this. I paste it here. Then I say, okay. All right. Then I'm going to say, okay. Ignore all. Is there any other? Is there any other item for this receipt? 2 chivas. 2 chivas. 2 chivas. So this one here, the quantity is 1. Next is chivas. Chivas, 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 chivas. I don't have. I'll say add new. Stock part. Item name here is chivas. Item name over here is chivas. Item name is chivas. Description. I'll do the same to that. What is the cost and sales price for chivas? $3.99, $6.70 to $20. $3.99, $6.70 to $20. $3.99, $6.70 on hand to $20. Income account here is sales. Then I say okay. All right. What was the quantity? The quantity was 2. The quantity is 2. The quantity over here is 2. So this is how this receipt should be. This is how this receipt should be. So I save and close. Just ignore all. Ignore all. And that is done. So that is how you create receipts. That is how you create receipts.